Katie Mazur along with Jerry Coleman. Ted Leitner rejoins us Friday night in Los Angeles. Dave Marcus alongside as our producer. A beautiful, beautiful afternoon for baseball here in Southern California as the Padres and the Braves will play the final game of this three-game series. Yesterday was a whole bunch of Jair Jurgens and going the distance for the first time in his big league career as the Atlanta Braves even up the series with an 8-2 win over the San Diego Padres and Aaron Harang. The big hitting star in the game was a former Padre catcher by the name of David Ross, who hit 2 home runs and drove in 4 against his former Cincinnati Reds teammate, Aaron Harang, in yesterday's ballgame. Chipper Jones also tied Mickey Mantle on the all-time RBI list for switch hitters yesterday with 1,509. That with a first-inning 2-run homer. Today it'll be Matt Latos going to the mound for the San Diego Padres. He'll be opposed by a tough young right-hander by the name of Tommy Hanson. That is your matchup here today as the Padres can still take this series. This is the rubber game of the series. Umpires are meeting at home plate with the representatives from both clubs. They're exchanging lineup cards. You're going to get the lineups right now from the Colonel, Jerry Coleman.
On a gorgeously beautiful day in San Diego, we can't beat the weather. Today we got to get the club going. Let's see what happens. For the Atlanta Braves, Martin Prado will be the lead batter. He'll play left field. Jason Hayward, he'll be in right field, batting second. Hitting third, the veteran 39-year-old Chipper Jones had a home run yesterday. He'll be at third base. Brian McCann will be the catcher, batting fourth. Dan Ugly in the fifth spot at second base. Fred Freeman, a youngster, a rookie, who'll be at first base hitting sixth. Alex Gonzalez will be the shortstop hitting seventh. He's been a hot hitter in this series. Nate McLaughlin will be the center fielder, batting eighth, and pitching and batting ninth, Tommy Hanson. That's the story. We'll have the Padre lineup in just a moment. Today's ball game, Cameron Maben will be in center field leading off. The shortstop, Jason Bartlett, back in action after a couple of days off. He'll bat second. Hitting third, Ryan Ledwick, who's found his bat again, and the Padres are delighted about that. He'll be in left field hitting third. The cleanup batter, Jorge Cantu, will be at third base. Brad Hopp has got that bat going again. He'll be at first base batting fifth. Orlando Hudson will be at second batting sixth. Will Venable will be in right field hitting seventh. Hitting eighth, Rob Johnson, the catcher. And Matt Latos will pitch, and he will bat ninth. And for Latos, Andy, I got to believe this will be a big, big game for him. He's 0-3, has not pitched the way he wants to pitch. He says, I can do better. Let's hope he does it today.
Absolutely. It'll be a great day to start on a beautiful sun-splashed day here this afternoon in Southern California. Matt Latos trying to snap a personal 8-game losing streak.
Yeah, over 2 years.
It's definitely come on since last year down the stretch. And now here with his first 3 starts of the 2011 season And the winner of this one will take the series here. Padres won the opening game in extra innings in 13, and last night it was all Atlanta.
And it was over in a hurry.
Yes, it was.
After the 6th inning, anyway.
8-2 the final yesterday, but today is another day, and we're ready to go for baseball here. Martin Prado standing in against the tall right-hander. Matt Latos fires the first pitch low and outside. We are underway. It's ball one.
Andy, the Padres have one goal in mind. They're looking at the record. It's 9-15. Their goal right now is to get to 500 and work from there.
That is the old magic number. Get back there. And a line shot down the left field line. That is trouble in the corner. That is going to be a fair ball. It's going to go into the corner up against the wall. Prado will jog into second with a leadoff double.
Well, you know, we've talked to people about Matt. They say he's just fine. Nothing wrong with him whatsoever. But, man, the way he hung on that fastball and hammered it, ouch.
So immediately, there's a man in scoring position, and the Atlanta Braves are the best team in baseball with runners in scoring position. Last night they went 2 for 4. Their National League or Major League leading average is .331.
That's unbelievable, let alone pretty good.
So the batter, Jason Hayward, he'll take strike one. On a slider, 0-1 the count.
The Hayward-Freeman combination, right field, first base. They're two young guys, left-hand batters that are very dangerous hitters.
This is Hayward. Down on the count, 0-1. Prado stands at second base, just underway in the first inning, and a swing and a miss. I had him chasing. Reaching out, that was not a strike. Swing and miss, 0-2.
That was a young man's pitch and swing, and he missed it by a foot.
Throw that little changeup at the young guy. They're going to swing out of their shoes. And in this case, swing out of the zone as well. 0-2 the count on Jason Hayward. And the pitch now for Matt Latos, up and in. Backed him off the plate a bit. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You know, when you're a young player, whether you're a hitter, pitcher, whatever you are, a fielder, when things go bad, you start to question yourself. That's what you can't do. That takes you out of your element.
Start to press a little bit. And the 1-2 is ripped into right field. Circling under that one is Will Venable. He'll make the catch, tagging from second on his way toward third is Prado. The throw will be cut off, and he'll get to third now with 1 away. So a productive out.
You give Hayward credit for doing what he wanted to do, advance for at least one base, and he did.
So now it'll bring up Chipper Jones, 1 RBI shy of taking over sole possession of second place on the all-time list of runs batted in by a switch hitter. And I think you know the guy he's tied with right now.
Mickey Mandel.
Mickey Mandel, yeah, exactly.
That's the guy. I've heard about him.
Good old Mickey Mantle.
Oh, he was my roommate for 2 years, and he was a delightful, wonderful human being. He didn't end up like that because he got into alcohol, but he admitted he was wrong.
Scoreless game in the first, and a ground ball to the left side. It's going to get a run home. Throw on to first is in time. Chipper Jones retired. He drives in a run. It's 1-0 Atlanta. And Chipper Jones, with his 1,510th run batted in, takes over sole possession of second place on that all-time switch hitter RBI list.
Tell you one thing about Jones. He's a pro. He hit the ball, didn't strike out, got the run across. That's important.
It's been a season of milestones for that young man.
Oh, boy.
2,500 hits now, 1,500 runs batted in, 500th double in game 1 of this series.
This is all against us. Almost.
Unfortunately, yeah. So an early 1-0 lead here for the Braves. 2 away. The bases are empty, and Brian McCann at the plate, and the all-star catcher takes strike 1.
You know, I was kind of glad when he wasn't playing last night. Then they brought in this guy, Rose. What did he do? Killed us. 2 home runs.
2 home runs. You're right. Pretty much the difference in that game. The 0-1 is in the dirt. Nice pick there by Rob Johnson, catching today.
The great story about that is Ross also played for the Padres years ago, very briefly, but he was a teammate of Aaron Haran. He killed him.
Yes, he
2
did.
home runs.
We were talking last night. It's like insider trading. You know, you kind of know what the guy's going to throw in certain situations because you caught him before and certainly took advantage. Ball 2, 2-1 now the count on McCann. 1-0 in favor of the Braves here in the first inning. They have scored the first run of this series in the first inning in each of the 3 games. 2-1 a bit low, now 3-1. Latos coming back with a changeup. And now timeout called at home plate by Brian McCann. He'll get back in. And a 3-1 pitch on the way here to McCann. There's a good strike on the outside corner, taking its full. 3-2.
It's a mustard on a 94. Not bad.
You know, Matt usually works into his velocity. You'll see early in the game around 91, 92,
yeah.
but I think he wants to get some strikes there. And there's a pitch just low and in, and Latos was headed toward the dugout. The only one that didn't think it was a strike was the one that kind of matters. The home plate umpire, Tony Randazzo, called that ball 4. So now a runner at first base with 2 away, and Dan Uglow will come to the plate, former Florida Marlin.
One thing about the Atlanta Braves, nobody on the starting lineup has more than 1 stolen base, and only 5 of them got that.
And they have 5 stolen bases as a team. They've been thrown out 8 times. And a good fastball taken for a strike, 0-1.
Well, that helps a little bit if you're a pitcher, because you're not looking for a guy to run. You got to be careful. They can get the delayed steal on you or take off when you least expect it. But if you keep your eye on them, they're not going to run much.
Certainly not part of their game. And the 0-1 off speed and just a bit low, 1-1.
You know, I'm amazed Uglo's hitting 188. This is a polished professional hitter who's having a terrible start like some of our guys.
And at the beginning of a year, it makes it look that much bigger than it is if, say, you slump in the middle of May.
Yeah.
The set for the 1-1. That's outside. Overthrew that one. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Well, one thing with Latos especially, you got to keep the pitch count down because he wearies in the 6th and 7th innings. You'd like to have him, into the 7th instead of heading toward 100.
2 balls and 1 strike. McCann at first base, 1-0 in favor of the Braves, and there's a called strike at the knees. Good pitch. Fastball humming at 92 miles an hour. Count evens at 2-2. Nary a cloud in the sky. This is one you take a picture of and you send to all those folks that have been struggling with weather across the country. There's a 2-2 in the air to deep right field. Backing up now is William Venable near the warning track. He'll make the catch right in front of the Petco porch. And that is the Braves' first inning. They do score a run on 1 hit. 1 man is left after a half inning. Braves 1, Padres coming up. This is Padre Baseball on XX 1090 and the Padres Radio Network.
Ground ball, can do.
Don't miss a moment of the action at
nothing to a young man by the name of Tommy Hanson. Good-looking right-hander who last year won 10 games for these Atlanta Braves. Burst onto the scene in 2009. He was 3rd in the National League Rookie of the Year voting that season. And he'll come up to face Cameron Maben, who will lead things off here for Buddy Black's ball club. First one on the way. Good fastball taken for strike 1. 0-1.
Have you noticed, Andy, the number of young pitchers in baseball that are trying to get into the big leagues? They may stay, they may not.
Now Hanson. And a swing and a foul back to the screen, 0-2. Hanson has a little bit of a hitch in his delivery. He kind of hesitates, and not with the legs like you're used to seeing with some of the Japanese pitchers that we have seen come into the baseball ranks these past few years. This is more of a hitch with the arm before he delivers the baseball. Kind of shows it to you a little bit, pauses, and then fires it, and that one's outside, 1-2.
I think he's a great dart thrower. That's what it looks like.
It does look like that. Looks like you're going to a bar with your buddies and you're going to play some darts. 1-2 on the way now. And there's a curve rolled slowly toward the shortstop, cut off there by Chipper Jones at third on the run move. Over to first in time and one away as Maben is retired. 5-3 on the putout.
Not a bad movement for a guy that's 105.
It's pretty good. I tell you what,
39.
He was about the only man that could have thrown out Maben. That ball gets deep to the shortstop. It's probably an infield single. So Jason Bartlett, who missed yesterday's game, that back flared up on him a little bit. Buddy Black saying precautionary reasons. He was out of the lineup yesterday, but returns today. Braves leading 1-0 here in the first with one away. And the pitch to Bartlett is outside for ball one. So Tommy Hanson, 6'6", 220 pounds. Born in Tulsa, Oklahoma. This is a good success story. Swing and a miss off speed, 1-1. He was drafted, Jerry, by the Braves in the 22nd round of the 2005 draft.
Times 30.
That's a lot of players taken before you.
Boy, you got that right.
And here he is in the big leagues now for his second full season, third season overall. And there's a fastball outside, 2-1.
Well, that's why scouts are so valuable. A good scout sees something in a player that not many do, and he fights for him, gets him, and then he ends up saying, hey, look what I got.
2-1 the count to Bartlett. 1-0 is the Braves lead here in the first inning, and the 2-1 on the way. It's high, 3-1.
Yeah, anybody can scout the guys with all the skill and talent, so forth, but you get a guy that's marginal and that far down the line. Think of the people that missed him.
Oh, yeah. Football, they call those recruits blue chips, the ones you can't miss on. And now you got a guy in the 22nd round here who just walked, Jason Bartlett. So a one-out base runner here for the Padres. And that gets us thinking about stolen bases. And if there is a stolen base, we'll say congratulations to Josh Jangles, our Steal a Meal contestant today. The Padres do steal a bag. Josh will receive a McDonald's $25 gift card, a pair of tickets to a future Padres game, all courtesy of McDonald's. And their 42-ounce soft drinks for just 79 cents. Enter to win like Josh did at XX1090SanDiego.com.
Well, Bartlett's got 4 stolen bases, but you worry about that back. Can he run, or how well can he run?
Hanson with a long set and out of the plate, and a first pitch swinging by Ryan Ludwig as a sky-high pop-up on the right side of the infield. Ugla fighting the sun, goes out, makes the catch as he falls to the side. Right in front of Jason Hayward, who would have probably been better served calling him off that ball, coming in and having a better angle. But Ugla hangs on for the second out of the first inning.
Well, Ugla's now one of the great defensive second basemen. He's a marvelous hitter. But basically, you're right. The right fielder had a better shot than the second baseman.
So here is Jorge Cantu.
Here's a guy whose bat I think is going to get going and help us a lot. I don't know why. I like the way he swings.
Cantu last night was 2 for 4, 2 for 5 here in this series, and a runner at first base and now 2 away in the bottom of the first. They have a pitch out on, but nothing doing. Cantu will look down for signs from Glenn Hoffman in the third base coaching box. Down at first is Dave Roberts. For fifth-year manager Buddy Black. A bluff move there by Bartlett at first, and a taken strike by Cantu, 1-1.
Yeah, for a guy like Bartlett to run, if he's thrown out, then you start with your number 4 batter in the next inning. Otherwise, he's with 2 down up there, and you want a guy at second base to drive him in. So let's see if they try it.
Hanson will throw over. Kind of surprised he didn't do that last time after he saw Bartlett kind of bluff over there.
Well, Kansas City leads the world in stolen bases, about 3 or more than the Padres, but the Padres are doing okay.
Second in the big league baseball, first in the National League with 28 steals. Another throw over. Kansas City, for the record, does have 32 going into the game today.
Well, you know why they steal a lot of bases many times. They can't hit.
That does happen.
An extra base.
Gets guys into scoring position. You get that base hit, take advantage of it, get a guy in scoring position. Makes sense to me. There goes Bartlett. Here's the pitch. Line toward left. That's going to be in for a base hit. So Jorge Cantu with a solid single to left field. First and second with 2 away for Brad Hawpe.
Tell you one thing, Bartlett had that bag. It's too bad that the sequence, as it turned out, was a hit when he was running.
So here's Hawpe. Padres down 1-0 here in the first inning. And if during the broadcast you have questions for us here in the booth, feel free. Send us an email. MyPadres at xx1090sandiego.com. MyPadres, xx1090sandiego.com.
Of all the people the Padres are hoping to get started, it's this guy right here. Left-hand hitter.
Slightly open stance for Brad Hawpe. The pitch is in the dirt with a curve taken for ball 1.
I bet if you went up to him and said, "What was wrong with you, Brad, when you're having so much trouble? Couldn't get a hit." He couldn't answer it. You never know.
I was going to say, I don't think any hitter could probably answer that question, could they?
I don't think so.
I guess it's just the same thing. You ask a guy how he's so hot, they have no idea either.
Yeah.
You just know you want that to continue. Now the 1-0 pitch to Hawpe. He'll check and take a strike on the inside corner. 1-1.
Tell you what, if you want to talk about a perfect pitch, that was right above the belt, inside on the inside part of the plate. That's a tough pitch to handle. To get the bat head out in front, very hard.
1-1 the count on Brad Hawpe, wearing the number 11 down there on the Padre home white jersey. Here's the 1-1 pitch to him, and a little check swing roller toward the second baseman. It'll be Uggla to flip on to Gonzalez at second for the force, and the Padres are done in the first inning. No runs on a hit. 2 men were left after a full inning. Braves 1, Padres nothing. This is Padre Baseball on XX 1090 in the Padres Radio Network.
Hacksaw.
Latos ready to work to Freddie Freeman, Atlanta's first baseman, and a pitch low for ball 1 by Matt Latos.
Freeman goes with Hayward as one of the 2 super dupers coming up. We'll see what happens.
1-0 pitch and a check swing. It's a little bit low and outside, off speed that time. The changeup. And the count is now 2 balls and no strikes on Freddie Freeman. And a rocket down the first baseline, a fair ball. That's going to go into the bullpen. And Will Venable will have to run up now to chase it as it hit the bench in there. And the ball was still ruled in play. Stopping at second base will be Freeman with a lead double. That's exactly how the first inning started. And now Freeman with his 6th double of the year.
Tell you what, right now they're getting to Latos. They're getting out in front of the ball. I mean, he's throwing the ball in the 90s, and they're going after it and hitting it. It's not good.
That ball certainly has a different sound coming off of Freddie Freeman's bat than a lot of other players that we have seen come up the ranks.
Yep. Big kid.
So he's at second now for Alex Gonzalez, who drove in a big 2-run single yesterday. As part of the 5-run 6th inning for Atlanta in last night's game. First pitch, good fastball, the outside corner taken for a strike, 0-1. And as we've learned over the years, and I know, Jerry, you're familiar with this. I mean, you can throw hard. That's great. That's one thing. But if you can't make it move and you can't get it to where you want it to, it's not going to help you very much.
Movement is critical. People don't realize that.
Matt struggling a little bit with command right now. And a pitch fouled out of play first base side. He's ahead 0-2.
Yeah, that's where the cut fastball came into play, where it was such a great pitch. It's faster than the slider and moves maybe 2 inches. That's all it takes to get your bat a little bit out of the way.
Right-handers using that exclusively, pretty much exclusively against lefties to kind of equalize that advantage.
Yep.
Busted in on the hands. Freeman at second with nobody out. The 0-2 pitch now to Alex Gonzalez is a high pop-up right side. Ranging out into foul territory now is Brad Hoff, backpedaling and making the catch. Hanging on there at second base is Freddie Freeman. That's a nice little catch there by Brad Hoff. The wind blowing out a little bit, and the sun is shining brightly.
Well, why fly Hawaiian to Hawaii? Well, nonstop flight from San Diego, authentic Hawaiian hospitality, and the comfort of wide-body plane. You can't beat that. Hawaiian Airlines. Check it out on .com.
1-0 Atlanta. Second inning. One away. The man at second base and the batter Nate McLeod, former All-Star with the Pirates. Long set here by Latos. Now to the plate. And McLeod takes a good fastball. Outside corner, strike one. So 0-3 to start the year here for Matt Latos and a .594 ERA. We know, and he knows he's better than that. A world of talent out there, 60 feet 6 inches away from home plate. The 0-1, late swing and a foul out of play. Third base side, 0-2.
No, there's no one on either team hitting 300 except for Rob Johnson. He's only been up a few at-bats. It's amazing. The batting averages are so low now all over baseball, especially in the National League. It's amazing.
You know, the Braves have won 12 games this year. They have a team batting average only about 10 points higher than the Padres.
Yeah, and not doing well, but they're winning.
0-2 in the dirt. Good stop there by Rob Johnson. 1-2 now the count.
You know, Nick Hundley, who took a lot of heat last year, so has become what I consider a marvelous catcher overnight. He did one-hands balls he never got to before. They fly around the backstop. He's doing a great job. And Rob Johnson does a job himself.
1-2 strikes the count here on McLeod. 1-0 Braves in the second inning. One away and a man at second, and the pitch is high, 2-2. But these streaks are things that need to go away. Latos on an 8-game losing streak dating back to last September. But what a May, June, July, and August, and the early part of September he had last year. 2-2 is ripped into center. That's going to be a base hit. Charging it is Mabin. Being held is Freddie Freeman, and wisely on the throw that comes all the way in on a bounce. But taking second on that throw home is Nate McLeod. So it's second and third now with one away. That'll bring up the pitcher, Tommy Hansen, who is not much with the bat.
That's what happens when you miss the cutoff man. I mean, he threw it right over the cutoff man's head, who was the first baseman, waiting to get it. And the runner at third had stopped, and the guy at first base said, hey, I can get to second base, and he did. You got to hit your cutoff man. That's your job.
Padres are going to pull the infield in here. McLeod hit a hanging high changeup. And it was one of those pitches you can kind of tell from the reaction of Matt Latos that, oh, no. And next thing you knew, it was smacked into center on a 2-strike pitch. So Hansen at the plate will take a curve and a little bit low for ball one.
He's 0 for 8 this year, but more importantly, infield is in with a pitcher hitting. Why not? He's not the kind of a guy who's going to drive you crazy.
You wouldn't think, but as we have mentioned before, bat in hand makes one dangerous.
When you swing the bat, things we saw it happen yesterday, did we?
Yes, we did. Here's the 1-0. Fastball swinging a foul tip at the plate. It's 1-1.
I take it back. It wasn't yesterday. It was Derek Lowe.
Yeah, it was Derek Lowe.
Yeah, Derek Lowe, 2 days ago.
And he snapped an offer for the pitching staff all year. Braves are not really worried about their pitchers hitting. They're worried about their pitchers pitching.
Yeah, I think that's something they're going to look for a little bit hard.
1-1 now the count on Tommy Hansen. Pitched by Matt Latos. Overhand curve is a strike call. 1-2. Matt's got a good feel for the curve and the slider today. The changeup has been a work in progress here early. Fastball variety from 91 to 94 early on. And the infield is in. 1-0 Atlanta in the second inning. Second and third with one out. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Got him.
That's the guy you had to get. Now you got a shot to get out of it with no runs.
First strikeout for Matt Latos here. Back to the top of the order for Martin Prado, who doubled and scored the only run of this game. Chipper Jones drove him in case you're just joining us. RBI number 1,510, number 2 all-time now as far as switch hitters and runs batted in.
You know, people forget that Chipper Jones, when he started his big league career, missed the entire first year. Couldn't play.
Yep.
Took him a while to get back in action.
So here is Prado. Second and third and 2 away. Pitch from Matt Latos. Good curve again. Taken for a strike. 0-1.
You know the old story, throw him a curveball first at bat, he won't swing at it.
That's got a good sharp breaking curveball here today. Trying to work out of a jam here. Second and third and 2 away. Now the 0-1 by Latos. Fastball, late swing, ground ball right side. It gets under Hopp's glove down the right field line, and 2 runs are going to score. Here's Freeman. Here's McLeod. And the Braves lead it 3-0. Look at it again on the replay. That's a play that I'm sure Brad Hopp will tell you he needs to make.
Well, you got to stop it even if you don't catch it, because that'll save at least 1 run. But he missed it completely.
And it was a late swing, and Latos had exactly what he wanted there. A ground ball to the right side, and yeah, it just got right by him, tangled up in his own footwork. Yeah, that's going to go as an error. That's a good call, in my opinion. You don't want to penalize Latos for making a good pitch right there. So now Jason Hayward will come up and take ball 1. This is a big out right now with another man in scoring position. Already down 3-0. So Prado to second on the error. That allows 2 to score. Check swing on a high fastball, and it's 2-0. Two balls, no strikes. Pitch from Latos, and now swung on and fouled at home plate by Hayward. 2-1. Well, folks, Beer Fest is coming back Friday, May 6th. Enjoy beers from 25 breweries in the park at the park, including some of San Diego's best breweries. First pour on May 6th, 4:30. First pitch against the Diamondbacks at 7:05. Don't miss that party at the park. Tickets at Padres.com/beerfest. 2-1. Fastball right down the middle. Taken for a strike. 2-2. Runner at second is Prado. The 2-2 to Hayward. Ground ball back up the middle. Knocked down with a dive by Bartlett. Cannot make a play, but he saved a run right there.
That's the key. You got to stop the ball whenever you can. Sometimes you don't catch it. If you stop it, runs don't score.
Jason Bartlett showing some great range again to his left to dive behind the bag in the outfield grass and knock that ball down. It keeps Prado at third base. On the infield single by Jason Hayward, so it's first and third now. Still with 2 away, and Darren Balsley's going to run out and try to settle down Matt Latos, who I'm sure got a little bit rattled after the error at first base by Brad Hopp that allowed 2 runs to score. He looked like he was going to get out of it. Well, that was not the case, and you know, Matt cares a lot, and sometimes the emotions get the best of the pitcher, and a good idea for the infield and also for Balsley to come out and just say, hey, listen, you're pitching fine. Just keep doing what you're doing here. We'll make the plays behind you, and let's get out of here.
Yeah, the Padres have 8 at-bats now. They got 3 runs to make up. They can do it.
So first and third with 2 outs. Chipper Jones, the batter. 0 for 1 with a run batted in. 3-0 Atlanta in the second inning, and a good curve again to get ahead. 0-1.
They got a tough hitter up there. He's been around a long time. His bat seems to be doing okay. Hard to fool a guy like that.
Latos from the stretch, ready to go on his 0-1. Here it comes. It's inside, and another great block by Rob Johnson. That saved a run. The baseball gets put into play. Padres trying to improve on a 4-10 record here at home. That is the worst in baseball. Following up a season last year where they won 45 games at home and 45 on the road. The 1-1 pitch. Fastball missing outside, 2-1. Breeze blowing out to right. 74 degrees here at game time today. Two-one on the way to Jones, and a fly ball into center field. Hit pretty well. Maben turning and running. Still chasing. Reaches up and it tips off his glove. He collides with the wall and he's down. One run is scored. Here's another man racing for the plate. He will score. Hayward comes in, and a triple by Chipper Jones. And the Braves have now taken a 5-0 lead.
Tell you what, that ball was catchable, but it would have been a miracle catch if he got it. Got it off his glove on it, but he was going head into that wall, reaching up and trying to grab it all at the same time.
Maben looks like he's all right. That ball was hit pretty much off the end of the bat and off the back foot. And most of the power supplied by the pitch there from Matt Latos, and Buddy Black and the assistant trainer Paul Navarro are going to run out and just make sure that Cameron Maben is okay after he reached up and then collided right shoulder first with the padded wall out there just to the right of the 396 sign.
Well, I don't think anything's gone well for Latos so far in the ballgame. He's had a tough time out there.
So it scored a triple and a couple of runs batted in for Chipper Jones, who has 3 RBI in the game. And the Braves have now taken a 5-0 lead here in the second inning.
That makes it harder to make up, so they got to stop him right now and work on the offense, see what they can do.
That was Chipper Jones' first triple since the 2009 season.
He doesn't run too well anymore, and of course in certain ballparks he just doesn't get many triples, but basically after the ball got by Maben, he collided with the ball, just rolled free for a while, gave him time to get around to third base.
So 4 runs have scored here in the inning. And a 5-0 Atlanta lead. Maben's going to stay in. Buddy Black and Paul Navarro getting a little exercise, a little run in together as they'll jog back in from center field toward the first base dugout.
Well, the trouble with a lot of players, they say, I'm okay, and they're not okay.
Yeah.
You know, and so the manager has to make up his own mind.
That's why he brings the trainer with him. Trainer has a little bit of a knowledge of some body language, I'm sure, and gets to know these players and know when they're hurt or not. So here's Brian McCann with a man at third base and now 2 away. And a pitch on the corner for a strike, 0-1.
Well, one thing in a game like this, even though you've got 8 innings to hit, you don't want to get too far behind because it makes the job really difficult.
Fastball is high, evens the count at a ball and a strike. Inning started out with a double by Freeman. Foul out by Alex Gonzalez. Single by Nate McLouth. There's a high fly ball into deep right center field. Chasing is Maben, and Venable is going to bang off the wall. Still in play. Jones will trot home on the double by McCann. It's 6-0 Atlanta.
Andy, I hate to say this, but I don't think Latos has much today, to be honest with you. They're racking him like he's throwing batting practice.
14th run batted into the year for Brian McCann.
9th batter coming up, too. That's a lot of at-bats.
It will be Dan Uggla with a man in scoring position. So when McLeod came up and put runners at first and third with 1 away, Hansen struck out, and then Latos figured he was out of the inning, got a ground ball to first base. It was hit pretty well, but it got by Brad Hoff down the right field line, and an error allowed a couple of runs to score. Then the Chipper Jones 2-run triple, and now McCann with an RBI single. 6-0 Atlanta. Strike 1 to Uggla. And the pitch is low and outside for a ball. I mentioned that the Braves have the best batting average with runners in scoring position. Coming into that at bat, Brian McCann, 714.
Wow.
The 1-1 strike called on the outside corner. 1-2 now to Ugla.
Well, their catchers have killed the Padres. 2 home runs by Ross yesterday. McCann today with a booming double. Drives in a big run.
Al Latos bent over at the waist looking into the sign, and the 1-2 pitch on the way to Dan Ugla. That's in the dirt. 2-2. Pitch number 51 already here for Matt Latos.
Yeah, that in itself is going to get him out of the ball game fairly early.
Two balls, 2 strikes on Ugla. Pitch by Latos. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. He got him. And the inning has mercifully come to an end. 9 men come to the plate for Atlanta. They score 5 times. 5 times on 5 hits. 1 big error and a 1-man left after an inning and a half. It's the Braves 6 and the Padres nothing. This is Padre Baseball, Double X 1090 in the Padres Radio Network.
Scott and
Padres are down 6-0. A lot of work to be done here against a tough pitcher in Tommy Hanson.
Well, now's the time to start right now.
Don't need to get it all back in 1 inning. Got some time here. Just start chipping away a little bit. Orlando Hudson will lead it off. And he'll take a pitch high for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes on the O-Dog. Orlando Hudson 1 for 3 with a triple. A run batted in last night. 2 for 7 in the series against the Atlanta Braves. And the pitch now by Hanson. Check swing strike. And it's 1-1.
You get this far behind this early, you got to start taking pitches to see if you can get your way on base any way that you can, rather than swing at that first pitch all the time and make it easy for him.
1-1 pitch now to Orlando Hudson. A big swing and a miss. Slider got him that time. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hudson's been hitting a little bit down in the order here. He had a couple of long hitless streaks, but Buddy Black trying to give him an opportunity here to get into a different spot in the order, maybe see some different types of pitches. And the 1-2 is a ground ball sharply to the second baseman. Ugla backing up on it. Will field and throw on to first in time, and Orlando Hudson is out number 1.
I got a kick out, as I said, that Hudson had stolen 8 bases this year. His record is 10.
Yeah.
And he's got 8. And what have we got? 20 games under our belt? It's a pretty good way to look at it. Looking at 50 if you keep going.
I think it's somebody I read today. I think he's on pace for 54.
Is that?
Yeah, 54.
Well, let's hope he gets. Hasn't been thrown out yet. That's good.
That's a tough pace to keep up. Here's Will Venable. And a first pitch swing and a high fly ball to deep center field. McLeod chasing back. He is camping under it. On the run, making the grab in front of the warning track. 2 up, 2 down for the Padres here in the second.
Hey, all-you-can-eat seats are a great way to enjoy all your favorite ballpark foods and a field-level ticket for only $29.50. Enjoy all-you-can-eat seats at Winter Schnitzel hot dogs. You got those. Popcorn, peanut soda, water, all kinds of goodies. Tickets on sale now at Padres.com. We'll tell you what number to call in a minute. Oh, we can do it right now. We have time. It's 619-795-5555. I'll tell you, if you've never tried it, give it a shot. You'll love it.
6-0 Atlanta here in the second inning. Rob Johnson bats with 2 away and nobody on, and a first pitch strike on the outside corner, 0-1.
Well, you know, the pitcher right now, which is Tom Hanson, the kid is only 26. He can relax, make a couple of mistakes with everything. You got a 6-run lead.
0-1 on the way now to Rob Johnson, and a fastball outside, 1-1. Sometimes on the flip side, though, you get a young guy that's not used to having a big lead, and then they kind of start to pitch more carefully.
Get careless?
Yeah, exactly.
Can happen. We'll see.
1-1 on the way, and Johnson checks, takes it outside, 2-1.
It's a pretty good slider right there. Missed with it, but it was a good one.
I would think that arm little hitch that he has there is a bit distracting.
Well, it's an unusual delivery. That's the cinch.
2-1, and that didn't miss by much, but it did. 3-1.
He gets it up there, holds it instantaneously like he's going to throw a dart, but it's a baseball.
And then it comes right at you.
Yep, pretty good stuff.
3-1. Here's the pitch, and a foul back to the screen. Johnson had a good rip. Full count, 3-2.
Well, I was at 92, and he can do that early 90s, and if you get in the right spots, it's very tough for the hitters.
Full count with the bases empty. 2 away in the bottom of the second inning. Padres down 6-0. Another 5-run inning for the Braves. They scored 5 in the 6th yesterday, and it put a 5 spot up in the second today. 3-2 on the way. Johnson hits it in the air to right field. Long run in now for Hayward. Long run out for Freeman, and they both let it drop. It falls into foul territory. Nobody really seemed to have a good location on that ball as it dropped in between 3 Braves players.
Yeah, it looked for a moment like it might drop in fair territory, but it was about 8 feet foul. But nevertheless, you're right. Everybody went for it, couldn't find it.
And where that ball bounced at the very end of it, Freddie Freeman covered up his head as if to think that ball's going to knock him in the head. And he lost complete track of it.
Come on, Fred. You got to move it out there a little bit. It wasn't even close.
Well, at least in his defense, he had the sunglasses down. My favorite is watching those guys on a sunny day go after a foul ball with the sunglasses on their hat. 3-2. Swing and a miss. Pulled the string. Slider gets Johnson swinging. And the inning has come to an end. We've played 2 full. Braves 6. Padres nothing. Padre Baseball, XX 1090 in the Padres Radio Network. With your Padres, you can follow your Padres at Twitter, twitter.com/SDPadres. Become a Padres fan on Facebook at facebook.com/Padres or read all the latest team news with the Padres blogs. Padres.com. Don't miss the action with your San Diego Padres. 6-0 Atlanta here at the top of the third, and Freddie Freeman will be the first batter. And he'll take a fastball on the outside corner for strike one from Matt Latos. Freeman led off the second inning. The Braves batted around. They scored 5. And a good strike. 0-2 now. Latos in control.
Well, the way things work, at one time, Jones was the young guy. Now he's the old goat. Got 2 young guys out there pretty good.
Well, the 0-2 hook is in the dirt, and it's 1-2. It seems to me, just in the 3 pitches that Matt Latos has thrown here in this third inning, he's got a quicker pace to his delivery, not wasting much time between pitches. Going after the hitters. And the 1-2 is low, and it's even now, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, you got a veteran catcher there, and they're the guys that can slow you down if you get too fast. I know Richards every now and then gets cranked up, and they got to stop him a little bit.
23-year-old right-hander Matt Latos ready to go on his 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Freeman down on strikes. 1 away here in the third.
Hey, Padre Baseball brought to you by the Miller Lite Home Draft. Boy, you can't beat that. Taste the greatness. Man, it'll just make you feel so good. Maybe you ought to have a shot right now.
I like the feeling and the emphasis you put on that. That was very good.
Absolutely.
Academy Award-winning stuff.
Well, you know how it is when you're a big beard drinker like me. You know.
Chop into the ground to third base. It'll be fielded there by Cantu. Throw across is low, but dug out nicely there by Hoffman. Gonzalez is out number 2.
Well, that was quick.
That'll bring up Nate McLouth here. 6-0 Atlanta. Here in the top of the third. Question for you: are your pets at the top of their game? Well, they can be when you feed them Petco certified nutrition, food that meets Petco standards for essential, advanced, and natural nutrition. Learn more at petco.com/certified Petco, where Gus and the healthy pets go.
That's my dog, Gus. He runs the house.
First pitch to McLouth is low for ball 1.
We got a couple of younger dogs in the house that my daughter brought home with, and one of them stole his bone. Oh, I thought he was going to eat him.
There's the 1-0. In for a strike, 1-1.
I thought Gus was going to have him for breakfast.
There's a couple things you don't mess around with the bigger dog. You don't take his bone, you don't take his food. Otherwise than that, you're pretty much all right.
Yep.
1-1 to McLouth. And a good off-speed pitch. That missed outside, apparently. 2-1. So McLouth singled and scored as part of that 5-run second inning for Atlanta, leading 6-0 now in the third. And a big swing and a miss. Climbed the ladder on that one. And it's even now, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Andy's got good stuff. In the second inning, kind of collapsed a little bit more. He's come back strong here in the third. If he stays there, it gives this club a chance to get back.
2-2, the count on Nate McLouth. Pitch by Latos. Got him looking. Strike 3 called on the inside corner. And a good inning there for Matt Latos. Strikes out a pair, getting him 4 for the game. And the Braves go in order. Our 15th out of the game, brought to you by Geico. And the time it takes you to wait in line for the concession stand, you could get a quote with Geico.
weekdays at 1:50 just before 2 o'clock and following Hacksaw on Double X 1090.
Bottom of the third, and the Padres trailing 6-0. Matt Latos will lead it off here against Tommy Hanson. First plate appearance today for Latos, and the first pitch is in for strike one, 0-1.
Yeah, Matt's batting under 100 lifetime and 0 for 6 this year, so he's not a big hitter, but you never know. He's got a bat.
He'll be the first to tell you about that long home run he hit in Washington last year. Swing and a miss late on the fastball, 0-2. Lined that one into the bullpen and left at Nationals Park a year ago.
It can happen. You got a bat, big, strong guy like that, makes contact, things can happen.
So he can hit under 100 as long as he gets to brag about the home run. That's all he cares about. The 0-2 swing and a miss. And Latos down on strikes. Back-to-back strikeouts now for Hanson, his first 2 in the game. And with 1 out, back to the top of the order for Cameron Maben. 6-0 Atlanta. Well, we invite you to come watch the Padres taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks. That'll be Sunday, May 8th. 1:05 start. The first 8,000 kids 14 and younger receive a Padres foam finger presented by Bank of America. Head to Padres.com to get your tickets. You can do that right now. We got an advanced copy of those foam fingers.
I got one.
Yeah, they're pretty nice, aren't they?
Darn right, I'd say.
Got mine right behind me here in the booth to remind me who's number one. There's a pitch in there for a strike, 0-1.
You've seen those hands with the finger, the index finger straight up. That means number one. Well, let's see if we can get there.
Absolutely right. Maben takes a strike, 0-1. Here comes the next one to Cameron Maben. And that's a little bit low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Who's the guy I love to watch run? He can run.
He's got a grace about him as he goes around the bases too, doesn't he?
Outstanding.
There's the 1-1 pitch and a pop-up foul straight back. That'll be out of play. 1-2 now on Maben.
You know, running is something that you can't develop. You can either run or you can't run. Now I know they go into the step about quick start and that sort of thing, or your sprints, this and that. But if you can run, you can run. I don't care how you look.
They say that speed never slumps. 1-2 now. And a chopper down to third. Backhanded nicely right at the bag there by Jones. He'll take his time and throw across in time. And that is out number 2 quickly here for the Padres in the third. It'll bring up Jason Bartlett. 6-0 Atlanta. So the Padres will take tomorrow off. First day off in 20 days. This will be the 20th game in 20 days. Actually, it's even. They had that one rain out in Chicago and made it up as part of a doubleheader.
That was an all-day, all-night deal.
It was an all-day, all-nighter.
Yeah.
So 20 consecutive games. And the day off tomorrow before heading up to Los Angeles. And a pitch is high, 1-0. Speaking of Los Angeles, Andre Ethier's home run in the 10th provided the difference in a 5-4 win at Florida this afternoon for L.A.
Was that 23 in a row for him?
It's a 24.
24. Okay.
24, yeah.
I missed the point.
He's approaching Mr. DiMaggio.
Well, he's only got about 40 to go. Something 50. I'm not sure. It's been a while. 56 is the record.
56. Swing and a miss. Bartlett 2-1 now. Pete Rose got close. Pete Rose had that 44 game streak.
Right here, I believe. If I'm not mistaken. It was in this ballpark or something like that. He came in with 44. He got it here. I don't know. I remember everybody was going crazy. Except me, of course.
2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Expanded the zone that time. Swung at a ball. It's 2-2.
See, I work at it this way. If you get 4 in a row, you're doing great.
We start to celebrate those things. Yeah. Well, they say you have to hit in 1 in a row before you can get to 2 in a row, right? Little baby steps.
Usually how it starts. 24. That's great.
2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And Bartlett is down on strikes. Padres have gone in order for the second consecutive inning. After 3, with that third out. Want to get Submarina its props here. You get into a participating Submarina California subs for a delicious 3-inch sub, plus a bag of all natural
Scott and BR Show.
6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Double X 1090.
6-0 Atlanta. As Matt Latos starts to work here in the top of the fourth inning and fires a first pitch strike to Tommy Hanson, his opposition on the mound. And now the 0-1 pitch and a big swing and a miss. Hits 0-2. Andy Mazer alongside Jerry Coleman. Ted Leitner rejoins us on Friday, that is, as the team will head up to L.A. Glad you're with us here this afternoon, wherever you might be listening. We appreciate that. And the 0-2 didn't miss by much inside. It is a ball, 1-2.
I'll tell you what, I think Hanson was ready to leave.
I think he was too. Kind of said, Tony, are you sure about that? Wasn't a strike? I want to go back to the dugout here. The 1-2. And he reaches out and pops one to the first baseman, Brad Hopp, in foul territory. Right by the coaching box at first. Will make the catch for out number 1.
Hey, gang, any combination of 10 or more, you can pick them. 10 or more tickets, save up to 20% with a Padres Flex 10 pack. You can use your tickets at one game or many. Flex 10 pack tickets start as low as $11. $11, gang. They're available in 4 great seating sections as well. So get your Flex 10 pack today. Call us number 619-795-5008. Check it out. It's the best bargain you will ever get in baseball.
Now, top of the order, Martin Prado will take strike 1 for Matt Latos, who seems much more in rhythm the last couple of innings.
Yeah, I'll tell you, he's done okay. He's retired the last 5 in a row. Not bad.
0-1 pitch to Prado as a slider low outside evens the count at a ball and a strike.
Well, that second inning, a couple of things happened there that literally cost them 5 runs, period. And if you could erase that, you start over.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Oh, yeah.
High fly ball to deep right field. Backing up now and then backpedaling right near the warning track will be Venable. He'll make that catch, and that is out number 2 for the Braves here in the 4th inning. Jason Hayward is next. 6-0 Atlanta in the 4th.
You know, Venable's my guy to get started. He's got a good arm. He's got good legs. He's got speed. He's got power. The batting average has not risen yet. Let's see if it happens.
So Latos, at 23 years of age, drafted by the Padres out of Coconut Creek, Florida High School, and Broward Community College in Florida. There's a curve for a strike to get ahead, 0-1, and he was signed by a guy you'll probably recognize the name, Joe Bochy.
Well, I know his brother.
Yes, you do. Bruce Bochy. Pitch is in the dirt, 1-1. We keep thinking that every time Latos faces the Giants and beats them, Bruce is probably on the phone to his brother saying, what the heck did you sign this guy for? 1-1 on the way now to Hayward. And a chopper up the first base line. It will roll foul. And we'll do it again. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
You know, Joe would arrive every now and then when they have the scouts meeting. And so he's worked the Florida area and that area for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, when Bruce was the manager here, I guess they had a pretty good connection. But basically, he stayed with the club. He's still here with the Padres.
And Latos, 14-10 a year ago, and an ERA under 3 at 2.92. What a great season he had. 1 complete game came at the expense of those Giants, and a fastball. Excuse me, that was a curve that was spiked into the ground a little bit there.
I thought it hit him, but I guess it didn't.
Rolled off toward the right side, and we'll get a new baseball in play. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count. 2 outs with the bags empty to Jason Hayward. 6-0 Atlanta here in the 4th. 2-2 on the way. And a check swing low. 3-2.
He was a runner-up to the Rookie of the Year last year, wasn't he? But Posey, I guess, got it with the Giants.
Posey did get it, yes.
He wasn't there all year. Here's a guy, believe me, if you're a catcher and you come into midseason and you're the Rookie of the Year, that's unbelievable. What a job he did.
Full count pitch. Latos to Hayward. Here it comes. And a ground ball sharply this time to the first baseman. Hopp fields it on the second hop. Touched the bag at first base, and that is the inning. And again, the Braves go in order for the 2nd consecutive inning here against Matt Latos. We're through 3.5. It's been all Braves so far. Braves 6, Padres nothing. listen to your Padres when you're away from your radio with the MLB.com @Bat11 app for your iPhone, your iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Get live audio, pitch-by-pitch tracking, video highlights, and a whole bunch more. All you have to do is text @Bat to 31826 or head to Padres.com. It'll give you all the details. 6-0. Atlanta leading in the bottom of the fourth inning. It'll be Ryan Ludwig, Jorge Cantu, Brad Hawk to face Tommy Hanson. Hanson coming off a win in his last outing, his first win on the road. After starting off the year with 2 straight losses away from Turner Field. Our first pitch in for a strike, 0-1. And Hanson won as the Braves swept a 3-game series from the Giants. Went 7 innings, gave up only 3 hits and 1 earned run. Walked a man and struck out 7. 0-1 is wasted high, 1-1.
Yeah, Ludwig is one of the few Padres who has done anything with his bat the last few days. He's 4 for 10 in the series. Nobody even close to that. Let's see if we can keep it up.
Popped out his first time. And now the 1-1 pitch. Outside. Good eye. 2-1. Other games going on. Actually, the Cubs and the Rockies were washed out because of rain today. They'll make that up later on in the season. I believe it was in July that they're going to make that one up.
That the hangover from the problem you had there?
2-1 is fouled out of play. 2-2.
I'll tell you, folks, the Padres, when they were in Chicago, got the coldest day you could ever get, and the next day it was practically a blizzard, and they finally canceled that one. But man, oh man, the weather was atrocious.
It wasn't that bad.
If I say it's atrocious, it's atrocious. I'm a Californian.
I found it very, very refreshing, as a matter of fact.
These Chicago guys, what do they know?
2-2 is low. Full count, 3-2.
Let's get the lead man on. Wouldn't hurt. Let's see what happens.
So the Rockies and Cubs washed out. The Brewers, that is, and the Reds are in the bottom of the 9th inning, tied at 6 at Miller Park. 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 1 away here in the Padres' 4th.
It's an LA gang. Visit GTM Discount General Stores in Santee and Lemon Grove for up to 70% off HD TVs, electronics, furniture, supplies, groceries, designer fashion for the family, of course, and more. Click GTMstores.com for valuable coupons. Well, you can get anything you want there. GTM Discount. Check it out.
So here is Jorge Cantu. Cantu singled. And the Padres first. It was the only Padre hit to this point. And now we're playing in the bottom of the 4th inning. Padres trailing 6-0. First pitch low and outside for ball 1. Some other action coming up in the big leagues. We'll set some of the matchups for you here in a moment. The 1-0 pitch. In for a strike. Evens it up at a ball and a strike.
You brought the information up that Headley is sick again. Is that correct? How bad is sick?
Yeah, I think he's still just trying to get over that
flu?
That plague that's been going through that clubhouse with everybody getting sick. There's the 1-1 and a swing and a miss. It's 1-2.
I avoid the clubhouse like the plague, gang, because everybody's ill down there. They're not doing well.
Cantu had it while the team was in Houston. One-two pitch now from Hanson. And a ground ball toward third, but foul.
That's a let-up curveball, and he had it way out front. Actually, it was a good pitch.
Coming up tonight will be the Nationals hosting the Mets. Suddenly hot New York Mets have won 5 straight. R.A. Dickey against Tom Gorzalani in that one. St. Louis will be in Houston. Kyle Loesch against Jay Happ. Giants will be in Pittsburgh once again. Giants won an extra inning game last night. Madison Bumgarner against James McDonald. Check swing on a pitch outside. He held up 2-2.
Cantu's got a strange record. He was born in this country and a week later went to Mexico and didn't come back for 17 years. He speaks very good English, I might add, and I'm sure Spanish as well.
Yeah, very good Spanish also. You're right. 2-2 pitch. Low and in the dirt. 3-2 the count. 6-0 Atlanta. If you're just joining us, they got a run in the first inning on a very memorable RBI from Chipper Jones, although it was a ground ball to the shortstop. It put him ahead of Mickey Mantle on the all-time RBI list for switch hitters. And then the 5-run second. Swing and a miss. Curveball got him. So 3 strikeouts in a row, and 4 of the last 5 batters have been retired on strikes. 5 total now for Hanson.
And 9 in a row. The only guy that got on was Cantu. Got the base hit the last time he was up.
So here's Brad Hawk. 6-0 Braves in the 4th.
Does that mean that Hanson's doing good?
think he's doing all right, yeah.
Well, I'll say.
Pitch to Hawk. And he'll take the slider for a strike. 0-1. Another game going on right now. Philadelphia leading at Arizona 4-1. Shane Victorino has hit a home run, his 4th.
Okay, a little guy like that hit a home run.
Swing and a foul tip held. 0-2.
What, about 4'6" or something? He's very tiny, really. 5'7" at best.
A flying Hawaiian, they call him.
Yep.
Had that inside the park home run here the other day, Sunday. Nothing in 2 on Brad Hopp. Here's the pitch by Hansen, and a chopper foul at home plate. You know, other news around the Phillies. Roy Oswalt ineffective yesterday and has requested a personal leave from the team. He's worried about some family members that are in Mississippi. They've had some terrible trouble with tornadoes and really bad weather.
How about St. Louis? Took the airport apart.
Swinging a foul back to the screen. 0-2.
But you're right. The flood area down there in some of those states is unbelievable. They expect some of the dikes to go into. They do. A wash period. They've taken 1,000 people out of their home to get them out of there.
It's been awful. So, team has granted Oswalt a little personal time there. They have an off day, so he's not scheduled to miss a start. But you can kind of tell. I mean, you're only human if you're worrying about your family while you're trying to pitch and earn your living. The 0-2 now. Swing and a miss. And Hawk down on strikes as Hansen just mowed right on through the San Diego Padres here in the 4th, striking out the side. He has 6 total. And Brad Hopp is here in the Boo Birds here in San Diego. We're through 4. Braves 6. Padres nothing. This is Padre Baseball, XX 1090 in the Padres Radio Network. Chipper Jones will lead it off here in the top of the 5th against Matt Latos and chop the first pitch right to the first baseman, Brad Hopp. He'll field it himself, take it to the bag, and that is out number 1. Some cheers of derision there for Brad Hopp after that big error that cost the team a bunch of runs there in the 2nd inning. 6-0 Atlanta here in the 5th.
Well, one of the problems with Latos is that's number 77. We're only in the 5th inning, you know, so you know this inning, next inning, if there's a rally in the 5th, he may not survive. He's running out of gas, really, from the standpoint of pitch count.
So here's Brian McCann. He doubled home a run in the 5-run second. McCann, the all-star catcher, had a rough go in spring training, and you can understand why. And a pitch high for a ball. His foul ball was the one that caught Coach Luis Salazar right in the side of the head while he was standing in the dugout, and later eventually Salazar lost the eye.
Yeah.
And McCann felt really bad about it. I mean, he was to the point where he could not play. Swing and a miss. 2-1. That tells you a lot about Brian McCann and just the way that he handles himself. And obviously the family and Luis Salazar himself say, hey, listen, you didn't do anything. It was just a freak accident. It happened to come off your bat. 2-1, fouled straight back and out of play, 2-2.
Well, we had an infielder called Gil McDougall who hit Herb Score on the side of the head and finished his career, literally. Yeah. That was the end of his career. And he never got over that. Bothered him till the day he died.
Yeah. 2-2 now to McCann, and he'll take it in the dirt. Full count, 3-2.
Pujols when he
got Chris Young.
Yeah. Didn't seem to bother him at all. Just kept going right along.
Well, if you remember that play, it bothered him a little bit. He was kind of kneeling down, and then he got to first base. And later, there's a fly ball to shallow left center field. That's going to fall in for a base hit. Little looper into shallow left center, and Brian McCann has his second base hit of the day. One out base runner here for Atlanta to bring up Dan Uggla. And if you remember correctly, Pujols went to first base and then eventually came around to score, and he was having to slide into home plate. He took the legs right out of Josh Bard, and Bard missed the next 2 weeks with a bad ankle.
He got the entire battery.
He took the whole battery out in one inning. Yeah.
Well, those things, baseball injuries at times can be very, very serious.
So one out and a man at first. 6-0 Atlanta in the fifth. And the pitch, swing and a miss. Good curveball that time. 0-1.
You folks forgot Herb Score. His first 2 years he led the league in pitching. He was a rookie with Cleveland. One of the best young pitchers you ever saw. And that blow in the face finished him.
Here's the 0-1 now, and Uggla will take it low and outside. Ball 1-1. Yeah, it's just unfortunate. I mean, obviously McCann was not trying to hit anybody, and it's just one of those things that happen. But you can't help, I'm sure, in his case, feel responsible.
Yeah, no, you do. You have to.
Here's the 1-1. Just a bit outside on the corner, actually. Taken for a strike, 1-2.
The guys always want to go with Ted Williams and Al Rose and those guys. I'm only kidding, of course.
1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Dan Uggla, and a swing and a miss again with the overhand curve. There's strike 3 on Uggla, 2 away. 5th strikeout here for Matt Latos. That'll bring up Freddie Freeman.
You know, for a good hitter, Uggla's having some tough times right now.
Let's hope those continue until they get out of town here.
Came into the game at 188, and he's 0 for 3. Not so good.
So Latos finding a bit of a groove here in these last couple of innings. And Freeman will take a curve for a strike on the extreme outside corner. 0-1.
Well, Freeman and Hayward are supposed to be the guys to carry the Braves in the years to come, and I can see why. Big and strong.
Runner at first is McCann. 6-0 Braves. Foul out of play. Left side. 0-2 quickly. And you'd certainly like to see things turn for Matt Latos here, and I'm sure that it's gnawing at him a little bit here, this 8-game losing streak, even though a lot of it he doesn't have control over. Most of it he does, but you can't control errors on the infield and things of that nature. And a fastball just missed, 1-2.
Well, we're in the 5th inning. That's number 90. You know what that means.
Yeah, that means an early hook here pretty soon.
Well, when you're this far behind.
Pitcher spot due up 4th in the bottom of the 5th, but nobody warming right now. 1-2 is a bit low, evens it up at 2-2.
Tell you, that right center, I know Lato's got pretty good stuff, but that right center, what a gap.
Yeah, you could drive a big truck through that little gap right there.
A bus to go with it.
2-2 on the ground foul first base side, and the count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. International League Rookie of the Year for Freddie Freeman. Gwinnett County, right outside of Atlanta. That's where AAA is.
Have 2 guys like that come up, you know, the Freeman and the Hayward.
Yep.
Power, start them in the face.
Both drafted out of high school. And a check swing low. Full count, 3-2. They talk about high school pitchers needing some time to develop. High school hitters come around a little bit. If you get a good one, man, they can get there. They can get there in a hurry.
Oh, a good fastball will get you there in a hurry.
Full count pitch. McCann will be off. There he goes, and the pitch grounded to the right side. It'll be played there by Orlando Hudson. He'll field and flip on to first in time, and that is the inning. So the one out single, that's it. No runs on the one hit, and nobody, one man left. I'll get that right. To the bottom of the fifth inning we go. Atlanta 6, Padres nothing. Padre baseball, Double X 1090 in the Padres radio network.
Hit a home.
Atlanta leading 6-0 over the San Diego Padres. Our bottom of the fifth inning is always brought to you by Collins Family Jewelers. You know the 4 C's of diamond quality, but remember, it's the fifth and most important C. Of course, it's Collins Family Jewelers.
Well, our friend Mr. Hansen's kind of warming up the task. He struck out the last 4 in a row and looks like he's almost unhittable. Looks outstanding. Gotta give him credit. He's doing the job.
I think these Padre hitters are tired of tipping the cap to the opposition pitcher, you know?
Yeah, well, I know, but it's hard not to. When a guy does what he's doing right now, it's okay.
There's the first pitch to Orlando Hudson. He'll hit it in the air, foul third base side, and out of play. 0-1.
He may be the one guy coming up, Hudson, who will not strike out. He makes contact.
Generally speaking, that is the case.
Yeah.
Nothing in one. Here's the pitch. Inside. 1-1. It's always fun to kind of look early in the season at who's leading. And the batting race and the home run race and the RBI race. Some names up there that you may not see toward the end of the season, but look, it's fun to watch their names up there now. And a ground ball to the right side. Tough play for Ugly. Ranges into the outfield grass to get it. Tries to make a throw on to Hansen covering the bag because Freeman was off the bag as well. And a little collision between Hansen and Hudson. And I think Hudson got the worst of that one, and he is in a little difficulty right now. He's safe at first, but he's wandering off the bag now to foul territory and being met there by Paul Navarro, and manager Bud Black will go out there to check him out as well. The play was kind of...
It was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was crazy from the beginning because Freeman ranged off the bag, made the dive. Ugla then dove to his left to corral it on the outfield grass and then threw on to Hansen, but Hansen was coming up the line into foul territory, and Orlando Hudson had nowhere to go to get out of the way.
Yeah, but for him to throw the ball under those circumstances was unbelievable. He had no chance at anything. And I'll talk to him about that when I see him.
Hudson looked like he may have actually even landed on the baseball, and they're working on his wrist, and that's not something you want to see because Orlando Hudson has had some injury issues in the last few seasons and have been with the wrist.
Well, while we have time, why don't you celebrate the National League Manager of the Year? That's Saturday, May the 7th. Padres take on the Diamondbacks. You know them, Arizona, at 5:35. First 25,000 fans in the park are going to take home a Bud Black bobblehead presented by Bank of America, and no one deserves it more. Anyway, don't wait. Get your tickets at Padres.com. The date again is May the 7th, 5:35. Diamondbacks in town. I don't know. I think he was looking for sympathy myself.
We'll take another look at it. We have opportunity to catch it here, and It looked like his left wrist somehow got hung up a little bit on Hansen as he was coming across into foul territory.
You're right, Andy. Things can happen. They don't appear to be serious, but you never know.
And he kind of landed awkwardly on that wrist as well, so he will stay in the game for now. Lead man is aboard. 6-0 Atlanta in the 5th inning, and here is Will Venable. Pitch to Will is high for ball 1.
Here's a young hitter, a young player that the Padres are hoping develops. Don't know if he's going to, but boy, he's got a lot of skills.
1-0 on Venable. Hudson with a lead at first. And the 1-0 curve is outside for a ball. 2-0. Mentioned the top 10 in the National League in batting. Matt Holliday, the leader, right now hitting .407.
He could be around at the end. He's a good hitter.
Ryan Braun leading in home runs with 9. Prince Fielder leading with runs batted in with 23. Good curve for a strike there. 2-1.
Holliday had one of those moments in his life defensively that destroyed the Cardinals.
You must be talking about that game against the Dodgers, I think it was, on a
took him out of the playoffs.
Line drive to left field that kind of hit off of his wrist and out and then down to the ground.
Yep. Should have caught it.
2-1. Venable reaches out and pokes one to the shortstop. Gonzalez will flip to second. Uggla's return throw will be high and wide and not in time anyway. Beating the throw is Venable. Fielder's choice to go 6-4. And Hudson will be retired. And now Rob Johnson will come to the plate with a man at first base and 1 away. Padres trailing 6-0 here in this 5th inning.
Andy, anytime you're a player and you're responsible for a club being taken out of the playoffs, you never get over it, period.
So Latos has a bat. He is in the on-deck circle. A swing and a miss by Rob Johnson. 0-1. Pitching leaders in the National League. Aaron Harang tied for the lead with 4 victories. He and Jorge De La Rosa. Josh Johnson leading an ERA at 1.06. There goes Venable. The throw by McCann on the bag, but late. Sliding in safely there is Venable with his 7th stolen base of the year.
Well, nobody was looking for that, including the catcher.
So now a man in scoring position here for Rob Johnson.
Get a run now. You got 4 innings after this to make it up, including this one makes it 5.
Now, Jerry, the thing that's interesting about Josh Johnson, the pitcher for the Marlins, leading the ERA at 1.06. He has taken a couple of no-hitters in past the 6th inning. He's not given up a hit in the first 3 innings of any game this year.
Well, he may tire. Although Venable will get fined, you know. He slid feet first.
Yes, he did, didn't he?
I did go head first. How about that poor guy down in Texas? Oh, my God.
Josh Hamilton sliding in head first at home plate. Out for a while now.
Led the league in 2 weeks or 2 months. Led the league in hitting last year.
Now the 1-2 to Johnson. Strike 3 call. Delayed call there by Randazzo on the curve. And Rob Johnson is strikeout victim number 7. And Latos will be done. He is heading back into the dugout.
Well, he's pushing 100 pitches, and this guy right now in the same amount of innings is pushing 70. Big difference.
And Eric Patterson will come up and pinch hit. I would not be surprised if you see Patterson stay in the game and play second base when the Padres come back out in the 6th inning with Orlando Hudson having some difficulty with that wrist.
Yeah, he's got today he can finish, off day tomorrow, and then have to start again until Friday.
Correct. So Eric Patterson will come up as a pinch hitter. It has not been a bed of roses here for Eric Patterson. He is 2 for 22 as a Padre. That's 0-91. He is 0 for 6 as a pinch hitter. Likeable young man. Younger brother of Toronto Blue Jay Corey Patterson. Both those guys were drafted by the Cubs out of Georgia Tech. Patterson was the player to be named later in the Adrian Gonzalez deal with Boston. Come up with a man at second base and 2 away. 6-0 Atlanta. A swing and a miss on the first one. 0-1.
It takes a certain mindset or a certain ability to come off the bench sitting around doing nothing and say, go up and get a hit. It's not easy to do. Some people can, and some just never master it.
You hit that nail on the head, though. I think you said mindset.
Yeah.
Because you have to get mentally geared up for that type of a role. The 0-1 fastball, strike on the outside corner, 0-2. Hansen is hitting his spots well. He has given up just 2 hits. First inning single by Cantu, and now a single here by Hudson in the 5th. That's it. Now the 0-2 to Patterson. It's in the dirt, and a good block there by McCann.
What you want to do is just break the ice, get a run in, and then maybe that'll activate more. But you got to get that first one. That's no genius approach, but got to get a run on the board, see what happens.
Now the 1-2 pitch, and Patterson checks, takes it low. They'll appeal, no swing, 2-2. So the final pitching line here on Matt Latos: 5 innings, 7 hits, 6 runs, only 1 of which was earned. 1 walk and 5 strikeouts, 94 pitches in 5 innings. So all 5 of those runs in the 2nd inning were unearned after the error. 2-2 pitch now to Patterson. Reaches out and spoils a pretty good pitch and fouls it out of play. Still 2-2. Mentioned some of the National League scores. Nothing yet underway in the American League. But an early battle for supremacy, I guess, in the American League Central. You have a hard time thinking that it would be Cleveland against Kansas City. The Royals find themselves 2.5 games back, along with Detroit, of Cleveland as play begins today. The Royals have lost 4 straight. Patterson takes strike 3 call. Strike zone has expanded just a little bit here, as that pitch was a little bit outside, but Patterson rung up, and the inning is over. Padres don't score. No runs on a hit, and a man left after 5. It's Atlanta 6, Padres nothing. This is Padre Baseball, Double X 1090 and the Padres Radio Network. Sixth inning, new pitcher will be Corey Lupke. Left-hander will come on in relief of Latos. Hudson staying out there, and will be playing second base. So Lupke out there again. Last time he was out was in Game 1 of this series. He was the winning pitcher in the extra inning affair. A couple innings of work, 3 hits, and a couple of strikeouts. Lupke has become a very valuable member of that bullpen. And as he says, being in the bullpen in the big leagues is much better than being a starter at AAA.
Well, the last left-hander that's been out there with his arm problems, so they can't get well. Every time they turn around, they try him, it doesn't work.
Yeah, Joe Thatcher is having a hard time getting ready. Yep. First pitch on the way, and it's high and outside to Alex Gonzalez.
You know, Hansen's been kind of strange. He struck out one batter in the first 2 innings. In the last 3, he struck out 7.
1-0 pitch, just low and outside, 2-0.
That means he's getting warmed up?
He's getting warmed up.
Wow.
10th appearance here for Lupke. 1-1 on the record, a 6 ERA. 2-0 pitch, and a high pop-up right side of the infield. Who wants it? It's going to be Orlando Hudson calling, moving toward the bag at first, now circling back a bit, making the grab on the infield grass. And that is out number 1 for the Braves here in the 6th inning. That'll bring up Nate McLouth. 6-0 Braves.
Hey, gang, when it comes to quality and fuel efficiency, Toyota's got what it takes. When it comes to great deals and service, your San Diego County Toyota dealers got what it takes. And have you been by a gas station lately?
Yeah, that doesn't have what it takes.
Holy smoke. I'm going to walk to work.
That's the interesting thing about traveling around the country as we do with the baseball team. That pitch is low and outside, 1-0. You kind of get to look at the gas prices everywhere else and think, oh my God.
Yeah.
We're paying what?
Yeah. I think ours is reaching for the sky.
It's it's getting up there. Here's the 1-0 pitch and a high fly ball to shallow center field. Coming in now is Cameron Maben. Going out is Bartlett. Maben calling. Maben catching, 2 away.
Hey, give credit to Lupke. He's doing a pretty darn good job. Not bad.
So here's Tommy Hansen. Cabot Stains, you're probably never going to take the field in the majors, but you can look like a pro in your own backyard when you finish your deck with Cabot Wood Stains. It's the one in the yellow can. Cabot, that's pro.
Lupke keeps this up, he's going to work himself into a more critical situation in the ball games.
Pitch in for a strike, 0-1. He's a likable kid from Ohio. He's an Ohio State Buckeye.
Uh-oh.
Yes, he is. The 0-1 swinging a foul tip held. 0-2 now on Hansen.
He didn't play football?
He didn't play football. Not involved in any of the scandal over there.
Oh, boy. Oh, college football's got a problem. I hope they solve it.
Here's the 0-2, and that's low, 1-2. You know, when we saw Lupke in spring training a couple of years ago, he was a highly regarded prospect, and we liked his stuff. I mean, he's got some big league pitches. And he came up last year as a starter and now is working out of the bullpen. And there's a pitch outside, 2-2.
He doesn't care as long as he's in the big league. Someday he could be a starter. You never know. Next year is another year, and as a young guy, he might just develop that way.
Charter plane versus buses, meal money versus not. He'll take it. There's a strike called. And Hansen is down on strikes. First strikeout for Lupke, and he mows through the Braves. 1-2-3 here in the 6th. We head to the bottom. Braves 6, Padres nothing. This is Padre Baseball, XX 1090 in the Padres Radio Network. The 6th inning, and it has been all Atlanta. 1 run in the first inning on a Chipper Jones RBI ground out. 5 unearned runs in the 2nd inning after a Brad Hoff error. And it's a 6-0 lead for the Atlanta Braves here to the bottom of the 6th inning. Back to the top of the order, Cameron Maben, Jason Bartlett, Ryan Ludwig, the scheduled hitters here against Tommy Hansen, who has struck out 8 San Diego Padres here this afternoon.
And he's done that in only 75 pitches through the first 5. Not too bad. That's pretty good handling the number of pitches you're going to throw and how you're going to do it. We'll find out.
So Cameron Maben has grounded out twice to the third baseman, Chipper Jones. It will stand up here now for the 3rd time. And the right-hander's pitch on the way. And Maben will take a strike. 0-1. Cameron Maben's career got off to a, I guess you would say, a bang, as his first hit and was a home run, and it happened to come against Roger Clemens. 0-1 low and outside, 1-1.
It gets everybody's attention. He had a big home run early in the year for the Padres.
Yes, he did. Opening day against the now deposed closer of the St. Louis Cardinals, Ryan Franklin. Long time look in now by Hansen. The 1-1 missing outside. 2-1 the count to Cameron Maben.
I see that Mr. Blackbeard up in San Francisco is starting to come along strong again.
I like that, Mr. Blackbeard.
Yeah, man. Will they dye that thing? Jet black.
Brian Wilson, the closer, gave up a single to Nate McLouth of the Atlanta Braves in the final game of that series. The Braves swept the Giants last weekend. Swing and a miss there by Maben, 2-2. Maben getting the freedom to run a little bit more on the base pass. Really enjoys that. The 2-2 is low and outside, a full count, 3-2. And this kid came into the clubhouse with a giant smile on his face from the very beginning of spring training, knowing that the Padres play his type of baseball. A lot of emphasis on defense and stolen bases. That fits right into what he does. 3-2. And off the end of the bat, that's foul, right side out of play. Still full, 3-2.
Well, he got a big home run, but basically he's not that kind of a hitter. He wants to get on, steal bases, activate things, get things rolling. Tall, lean athlete.
You said it right. He's an athlete. He's built like an athlete. Strong kid. He's surprisingly strong. You kind of take a look at him from afar, you don't realize how powerful he really is. 3-2. Fouled straight back and out of play. Still full, 3-2.
You know, he's got that. So, you know, when Ted Williams came to the big league, he was 185 pounds or whatever, 6'3". He looked like a string bean. You know, Mantle was only 5'9" or so, weighed 170 at best when he came up. They got a little bit chubbier as they got older, but basically they were just string beans.
Another 3-2 pitch to Cameron Maben. Here it comes, and a high pop-up, right side foul territory. Heading toward the dugout and heading toward the seats right beyond the dugout and out of play. 6-0 Atlanta in the bottom of the 6th inning. First batter, Cameron Maben, is making Hansen work a little bit here.
Yeah, if Atlanta wins this ball game, they'll be even up at 500, 13-13. They're 12-13 starting. And let's see, they're 4.5 behind Florida when the day started. And Florida lost, they'll be 3.5 if they do it this way.
Florida lost the Dodgers in extra innings.
Yeah.
And another 3-2 pitch. This one grounded slowly toward third base. Chipper Jones, a bare hand pick on the run, throw to first, and they get him by a step.
I don't believe that.
I don't either.
I do not believe that. You know, if the game was close, you go out and argue with the umpire. His name is Dan Bellino, but I think he was looking at the sky. I would like to see it on slow motion.
Well, we're going to get that chance. Good bare hand pickup there by Chipper Jones. It was close.
It was a tight base. The runner gets it.
It was close. So 0 for 3 for Cameron Maben. Now Jason Bartlett up. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. And a pitch in for a strike. 0-1.
Being an old-time grump, it's always been the tie base goes to the runner.
You got that right. That's how I was.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Hey, Bellino, let's talk this over.
0-1 hit well into left, but not going to carry. Prado drifting back and making the catch with one hand, and that is 2 away.
Let's give Mr. Jones credit. Chipper's 39 made a really good play out of that, but it was a tie base.
Padres have had a couple of situations here on this homestand in particular where they have had an opportunity to score some runs in the first inning and kind of let that go by the board. And I don't. It's tough to not think that
maybe
the struggles in this first inning, if you score a couple of runs and you keep the game close at that point, you keep a little pressure on the pitcher, if it doesn't make it a little bit easier later in the game to get to that guy. And Ludwig will take one low and outside for ball one.
Well, Mr. Dart thrower, his name is Tom Hansen, has done a pretty good job so far. Just a couple of hits and struck out 8 from the 6th inning.
And in game 1 of the series, 2nd and 3rd with nobody out. Can't get a run. And a ground ball left side. Will be Alex Gonzalez fielding on a hop. And a little bit of an off-balance throw on to first base, but in plenty of time. And Ludwig and the Padres are retired here in the 6th inning. We have played 6. Atlanta 6 and the Padres nothing. This is Padre Baseball, XX 1090 in the Padres Radio Network. And the Padres trailing 6-0 to the Atlanta Braves. Martin Prado will lead things off. By the way, folks, if you're interested after the postgame show today, right here on XX 1090, some exclusive and in-depth NFL draft preview. I invite you to stick around after the postgame show here on XX 1090 to check that out. NFL draft. The NFL is a mess right now. Yeah, are they locked out? Are they not locked out? What's really going on there? Here's the 1-0 pitch. Ground ball back up the middle into center field, a base hit. So Prado has his second base hit of the game. Lead man aboard for Jason Hayward.
Reminder also, before the Padres take on the Arizona Diamondbacks, know what we're going to have on Friday, May the 6th. We'll head to the ballpark and come and enjoy our beer fest. Enjoy beers of all kinds of different products and different people. 25 breweries, including some of San Diego's best breweries. They're all going to be here. I'm going to sit in the middle of them and see what I can do with them. Give you more about that in a minute.
Pitch is inside for ball one.
First pour is at 4:30. I'll get it early so I get ahead of the first. First pitch at 7:05. Visit Padres.com/beerfest for tickets and all the details.
Here's the 1-0 pitch to Hayward. It's in for a strike, 1-1.
And if anybody can't find your seats, we know why.
So you're a beer connoisseur. Is that what I'm trying to understand through this whole thing?
One of the best.
Okay.
One of the best.
It's nice to know. I did not know that about you.
Well, you know how it is.
Pitch outside off the glove of Rob Johnson. Back to the screen. Down to second base goes Prado. That will likely be a pass ball.
Not likely. Has to be. My goodness. Right in the center of his glove.
And
popped out.
The way he's reacting with a quick chat with Corey Lupke as though he got crossed up. Board says wild
That
pitch.
can happen. That can happen, you know.
Okay, it was said wild pitch at first, but the official score has changed it to a more accurate description of a pass ball.
You mean we were right for the first time in several weeks?
Does not happen often, so we celebrate when we are right. Man in scoring position now, 2-1 the count, and Hayward takes a good hook for a strike, 2-2.
Well, Lufke's pretty good young left-hander, doing okay against the left-hand hitting Jason Hayward. Of course, Chipper Jones will be batting right-handed.
2-2. The pitch to Hayward, fouled straight back to the screen. It's even still, 2-2.
Had a pretty good cut of the breaking ball, not bad.
Now, there is a gentleman in the press box who is a beer connoisseur. Actually, he calls himself a beer snob. That's not Dave. No, I'm talking about in the writers section over to our right. Corey Brock of MLB.com.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. He's even brewed his own beer at home.
Come on.
I tried it. It actually was pretty good. Swing and a miss. Hayward down on strikes.
Well, the last beer I had was in October 1957. See, because I used to lose a lot of weight when I played, and I went to the doctor. I said, "Doctor, I can't keep my weight up." He said, "You drink beer?" No. He said, "Take 2 beers every day." But I don't like beer. Take them anyway.
Drink it anyway.
And I drank 2 beers every day, never lost an ounce.
So that was your doctor's advice: drink 2 beers and call me in the morning, huh?
And I quit baseball and after 57, last beer I've had. I don't mean it's bad. It's just for me, you know.
Absolutely, personal preference.
So, all you Budweiser people out there, I will not do your commercials this week.
And all the Miller Lite folks out there as well. It helps sponsor Padre Baseball.
Oh, boy.
And that means you'll be the Grand Marshal of the Beer Fest, right?
I'll be serving.
Here comes the 0-1 to Chipper Jones. It's a little bit low, 1-1. I tell you what, they're doing a great job with those Friday festivals here at the park.
No, it's a fun time. It really is. And bring your family, have some fun. You'll enjoy it thoroughly.
You know, if it's a Friday, it's a party here at the ballpark. There's a pitch outside, 2-1. They had the wine and food tasting last weekend, and Beer Fest is up next.
Okay. When we gonna get the scotch?
I think that's in October.
October. After the season.
After the season. 6-0 Atlanta here in the 7th. And a high fly ball into shallow right. Will Venable trotting in. He's under it. Makes the grab, fighting the sun, 2 away.
You know, all the outfielders and infielders, those high pop-ups and fly balls, stagger under them a little bit, trying to pick up the distance and the perspective of where the ball is to that sky. It's very hard.
So Jones retired, and that'll bring up Brian McCann, who's driven in a run, a couple of hits and a walk. 6-0 Atlanta. 5 unearned runs in the 2nd inning, the big difference in this game. And the pitch to McCann, left-hand hitter, is a strike.
Boy, that was a good pitch.
Lukey's slider is improved tremendously over what it was last year.
That hit the outside corner right at the knees. Perfect.
No balls and 1 strike. The pitch inside. Not a bad idea to buzz the tower a little bit there. 1-1. And the 1-1. The McCann is low and outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. So from here, the Atlanta Braves, I do believe they go home.
Yeah, they're off.
They go home on an off day, and then they'll host the Cardinals and the Brewers in their next homestand. 3 with St. Louis and 4 with Milwaukee. Swing and a miss. 2-2.
Well, Milwaukee is tied for the Central in the National, and St. Louis is tied there with them. They're both 12-11, just went over 500. Should be interesting.
6-0 Atlanta in the 7th inning. And a 2-2 pitch now to Brian McCann. A little tapper right back to the mound. Fielded front side there by Lukey. A throw on to first in time, and that is the Braves' 7th inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man is left. It's stretch time for the folks here at Petco Park. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Atlanta 6, Padres nothing. Padre Baseball, XX 1090 and the Padres Radio Network. 6-0 here against the Atlanta Braves, and Tommy Hanson has been one tough customer as advertised. It will be the middle of the batting order, 4, 5, and 6 to come up here against Hanson in this 7th inning. Hanson has struck out 8 and issued 1 walk, and that came in the 1st inning. Clean since then. Only allowed 2 hits. First one to Jorge Cantu is hit in the air to deep right field. Backing up is Hayward. Now shy of the warning track. He'll make the catch, and that is out number 1. First pitch swinging, and 1 away.
I thought for a minute that might have a little more carry to it than it did. It came in about 20 feet in front of the wall out there. I thought it might even get to the wall.
Well, it sounded a lot better off the bat than it actually went. Well, Ted Leitner's stats are great with Metafast. 40 pounds lost, and he's keeping it off with Metafast. For a center near you, 1-888-9-METAFAST, or go to mymetafastsandiego.com. Hop swings and fouls the first one back, 0-1. Speaking of Ted, he'll rejoin us on Friday when the team heads up to Los Angeles. Weekend series at Dodger Stadium against the Dodgers.
Always a good series, always.
2 night games and a day game on Sunday, and a pitch strike called on the outside corner, 0-2. Hop is 0 for 2 in the game. Pitch on the way now from Hanson. Check swing. It's high. 1-2 the count. Well, Tommy Hanson certainly likes pitching here in this ballpark. Many pitchers do. This is his 3rd start here at Petco Park. He's 2-0 coming in with a 2.25 ERA. 1-2 on the way, and a liner fouled on the third base side out of play. And reading in their notes as well, this is the only park other than Turner Field where he pitches his home games that he has multiple wins in.
Well, you know, sometimes that's all psychological. You never know. Some guys get to a park, say, every fly ball's a home run, and they start thinking about it.
Into the line for the 1-2 to Brad Hop. Here it comes. Inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
In fact, I've never heard a pitcher complain about working in this ballpark.
Yeah, you're right.
No matter whether they win, lose, or otherwise.
Two and 2 the count to Brad Hop. Here's the pitch by Hanson, and a liner foul, third base side out of play.
Well, Hanson running into the 100 mark. He'll get there before this inning is over. He's up to 95 now with 1 down.
And now the 2-2 on the way. And a ground ball sharply to first base at 8 up. Freeman, it gets by him. He'll throw to first with Hanson covering. Too late. Not in time. Hop with a single.
You know, one thing about the pitch count that it does for you, and if you're a manager, well, he's up to 100, I'm taking him out of there. It's almost an automatic. When they get to 100, they're starting to think about getting him out of there.
Yep.
It never was that way before. You came out when you passed out and fainted, they carried you off the field or something. But now we get that 100 mark, man, oh man, you're on the way out.
So Brad Hop aboard at first base with 1 away. 6-0 Braves. Orlando Hudson at the plate.
Well, this Padres' 3rd hit.
Hudson owns one of those, an infield single his last time, and a foul ball out of play.
Well, Freeman did something I liked. He stood in front of the ball. It hit him and rolled behind him, but it gave him a chance to make a play, and very close at that. Most guys dance around that and reach for it. If they don't get it, it's into the outfield. Good job by the young kid.
Now the 0-1 to Orlando Hudson, and that's low and in, 1-1. Getting some reaction on Twitter today about a comment that I made earlier about speed never slumping, and I think it might have been misinterpreted. We'll further explain that here in just a moment.
I wish you would.
I will do that.
Please.
Here's the 1-1. And that's on the outside corner for a strike, 1-2. What it means is not that the guy at the plate is not going to slump with his bat. I'm talking about speed. When you got speed, it never has a day off because you've always got the speed.
Yeah.
Once you get on base, that's the hard part, though.
Helps you get on base sometimes.
You can't steal first base. I understand that. And a swing and a miss by Hudson. He's down on strikes. That is strikeout number 9 for Tommy Hansen, and now 2 away. That'll bring up Will Venable. So I'm not talking about a guy with his bat. I mean, obviously you're going to go into slumps and that kind of thing at the plate, but when you've got the speed, you've got it. That's all you have.
Well, Mantle, if he couldn't hit a guy, it would bunt for him with 2 strikes. Bunted a lot on certain guys. Masterson was one of them with Buster. Every time we get him, he ended up bunting.
Check swing by Venable. Ball low, 1-0.
And you had to be quick to get him at first base. He could fly.
It's the fun part about this new line of social networking here with Twitter and Facebook. You get immediate reactions from folks if they don't understand something or have a question. Email the same way. There, pitch outside, 2-0.
You mean I'm going to hear about all this stuff I'm talking about?
I'm going to tell you everything I've been reading today.
Oh, well.
I'll tell you this. It's all been positive.
I agree with that.
Here's a 2-0. And a chop foul at home plate that got the mask of Brian McCann. 2-1 now on Venable.
Well, home broadcasters, gang, can see the positive where no one else can see it. We see a lot of things that happen out there, but there's always a good side to it if you can find it. And we try to find it.
Yeah, we have the benefit of actually getting to know some of these guys a little bit as people. And you kind of feel for them at times. And we understand that when you're a fan, you come to the ballpark, you pay your money for a ticket. It's well within your rights to boo a guy, and I'm not going to debate that. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Because I'm sure every one of these guys would tell you that they think that they should be doing better than they are right now. That's not a question.
Oh, yeah.
Now the 2-2 to Venable. It's in the dirt. Full count, 3-2. Hopp will be off on this pitch now with 2 away. 6-0 Atlanta in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Pitch number 106 coming up. What's going to be a fastball, curveball, 3-2? Got to throw a strike.
I'm thinking fastball.
Okay, we'll watch.
I've been known to be wrong, though. There goes Hopp, and it is a fastball. Line into center field, a base hit. Turning second, on his way to third. Now is Hopp. The ball squirted a little bit away from McLeod, but not far enough for any further advance. And Will Venable with a solid single to center. First and third with 2 away.
Kind of short hop to center field. Got under his legs and drilled behind him a few feet.
So Rob Johnson will come up. And if I'm looking correctly at my scorebook here, this is the first Padre runner to get to third base all day.
There have been very few Padre runners, period.
Chase Headley has a bat in his hand. He'll be in the on-deck circle here. Hit for the pitcher should the spot come up. And the pitch to Rob Johnson is a bit high and outside for ball 1.
And the bullpen for the Braves is starting to crank it up.
They have a couple of very talented young arms out there.
The side wheeler right-hander looks pretty tough.
Check swing. It's called a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Their former catcher Eddie Perez is the bullpen coach. And that is Guerin, the man who made his major league debut in game 1 of this series in the extra inning game. 1-1, swing and a miss. Disappearing slider that time, 1-2. That was a pitch that's really not fair.
A breaking ball.
That thing just exploded out of the zone. It came in looking like a fastball, and then it was gone. 1-2 to Rob Johnson. And a fake move, and they almost caught Venable on the old fake to third, whirl to first move. Venable had the intentions, I think, of taking second base right there. And
he took 2 steps toward second, then came back in a hurry.
Dave Roberts yelling, "No, get back." Now the 1-2 way outside. A great block there by McCann. Shifting nicely to his right.
Well, if you're 1 run behind or something, you want to activate something, that's one thing. But in a case like this, when you're 6 down, don't get picked off under any set of circumstances.
Yeah, your run is way too valuable out there. Should a guy run into a ball and hit one out. You'd obviously like there to be a couple men on rather than just one. And a conference now on the mound with Hansen and McCann. Don't forget, fans, every time the Padres score a run, Phil's Barbecue makes a donation to Big Brothers and Big Sisters of San Diego County. Runs for the right cause, brought to you by Phil's Barbecue. So the conference is over. McCann will slowly walk back behind home plate. 6-0 Atlanta. Bottom of the 7th inning here at Petco Park. Padres threatening with their first man at third base all day. There goes Venable. The 2-2 pitch, line foul. First base side out of play.
Tell you what, that was a self-defense swing, although Johnson's had a tough time with Hansen. He struck out in the 2nd, again in the 5th, and he's even up at 2 right now here in the 7th inning. So he's got to do something really fascinating to make it work. Got to get going.
2 balls and 2 strikes, the count on Rob Johnson. Venable leaves again. That pitch is outside. It is a ball, and Bill Venable will take second base.
Yeah, catcher's indifference, I believe. I don't think they even tried to hold him on.
I think they're going to say that he was moving, that they're going to give him credit.
Well, you're right, he got it.
Stolen base. Second one of the day for Will Venable.
But nobody covered.
Nobody did cover, you're right. Swing and a miss. Inconsequential, as Johnson is down on strikes for the 3rd time today. And the Padres' threat is done in the 7th. They leave them at 2nd and 3rd. 2 men left, no runs in. And after 7, Braves 6, Padres nothing. Padre Baseball, XX 1090 and the Padres radio. In the 8th inning, Braves in front 6-0. And it'll be Ugla, Freeman, and Gonzalez ready to face Luke Gregerson. Again, as mentioned, Padres will take tomorrow off, and I'll give you the pitching matchups for that Dodgers series. Night game at 7:10 on Friday night. Clayton Richard against Ted Lilly. And then Saturday night also at 7:10 will be Tim Stauffer and Hiroki Kuroda. And then Sunday afternoon at 1:10 in the afternoon, it'll be Dustin Mosley against the former Padre right-hander John Garland. We'll have all those games for you right here after the off day tomorrow. Dan Ugla, first man up, and the first pitch is hit in the air to right field. Tracking under that one is Will Venable. He'll reach up and make the grab. 1 pitch and 1 away. Here in this 8th inning. Today kind of a strange day in Major League Baseball history. There were 6 different no-hitters thrown on this day in baseball history and 2 cycles. Among those throwing no-hitters, Steve Busby of the Royals. He was a 22-year-old starter throwing a no-hitter against Detroit in 1973. Scott Erickson of the Twins twirled one in 1994. Had a swing and a miss. The count evens at 1-1 on Freddie Freeman. Derek Lowe pitched his no-hitter for the Red Sox in 2002. It's the first one at Fenway Park since 1965. There's a ground ball right side. Charging it is Hop. He'll glove it, step on the bag himself, and quickly 2 away. Kevin Millwood also threw a no-hitter this day. That was back in 2003. And the cycles happened in back-to-back years on this day in baseball history, April 27th. One of them in 2004, where Chad Moeller became the first Brewer to hit for a cycle at home. It was a 9-8 win over the Reds. And then at Busch Stadium in 2005, Mark Grudzielanek, former Expo Cub and Dodger, did the trick. He became the 16th Cardinal to hit for the cycle and the 3rd to do it in St. Louis. So kind of an oddity. There's the 1-0. And there's a pitch low, and it's 2-0 to Alex Gonzalez. 6-0 Atlanta here in the 8th inning. So 6 separate no-hitters and 2 cycles on this day, April 27th in baseball history. 2-0 pitch now. Spins out of the way of the slider, but it's in for a strike. 2-1. Six runs, 8 hits, no errors. Atlanta. No runs, 4 hits, 1 error for the San Diego Padres. And a swing and a miss. Another great slider there by Luke Gregerson. It's 2-2. And the next one is a high fly ball lazily into left field. Coming in now to play it near the line is Ryan Ludwig. He'll make the grab, and a 1-2-3 inning for Luke Gregerson. And the Padres, we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Braves 6, Padres nothing. This is Padre Baseball, XX 1090 and the Padres Radio Network. As we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, and it's been all Braves, 6-0. Corey Guerin, who made his big league debut in the extra inning game in game 1 of this series, and pitched 2 scoreless innings with a couple of strikeouts, will come on now for his second big league appearance. And Chase Headley will bat as a pinch hitter to lead off the 8th. And chops the first one off a home plate. Weakly toward the second baseman, Uggla to field and throw on to first in time. 1 pitch, 1 away. Tommy Hanson pretty much unhittable here today. 7 innings, 4 hits, No runs, 1 walk, and 10 strikeouts.
That's a pretty good day's work.
Not bad at all. So now Cameron Maben, leadoff batter. Hansen's career high in strikeouts. He was 1 off. It was 11 back in 2009 in a game against the Giants. First pitch strike from Corey Guerin. Spells his last name Gearrin, and it comes out Guerin.
As a side wheeler, right-handers don't like guys like this.
And a fastball outside, and it evens the count at 1-1. Yeah, left-handers like that usually. They can see the ball a whole bunch better. Righties, not so much. Here's the 1-1, and tried to check, could not hold, and it's 1-2.
The strange part of Guerin, though, he stands on the first base side of the rubber. Usually, if you're going to go side with those right-handers, you get on the third base side, and you're coming from the coach's box. But he's on the other side. I have to talk to him about that.
Now the 1-2 pitch. Way inside. Backed him off. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So Gregerson, another scoreless inning. Corey Lupke, 2 scoreless innings. A hit and 2 strikeouts. So again, the bullpen way up to the task. And I'll tell you what, Matt Latos really settled down after that second inning. You got to look at a positive there, maybe going toward his next outing. That certainly is one. There's a pitch outside, 3-2.
Well, that second inning was the 5 earned runs just destroyed the game as far as the Padres are concerned. They never really got back into it, being as far down as they were.
Guerin, a big kid, 6'3", 200 pounds. Chattanooga, Tennessee is where he was born. And there's strike 3 call, and Cameron Maben knew it. 2 away in the 8th.
Hey, Petco Certified Nutrition. Well, it's food that meets Petco standards for essential, advanced, or natural nutrition, or it doesn't have what it takes to be on their shelves. Learn more about petco.com/certified Petco, where the healthy pets go, including Gus, who's very healthy and big and fat and doing well.
How'd your walk go with him today?
Oh, well, it was 5:45. I know. I was a little late. I was about 15 minutes late today. I had a lot of things to do.
Gotcha.
I had to get here early for the interview with Bud. And I got here at 8:30, and he showed up at 9:45. I said, how could you do that to me?
Ground ball to the shortstop. Gonzalez will field and throw on to first. Bartlett is retired. I want to hear the punchline of that story when we come back. We're through 8 innings. Braves 6. Padres nothing. This is Padre Baseball. Double X 1090 in the Padres Radio Network.
You know, something's
We go to the top of the 9th inning. Atlanta leading 6-0. It'll be Evan Scribner to come on and pitch in his second career big league game. Got his First call out of the bullpen yesterday, and pitched a couple of innings, gave up 2 hits, walked a batter. And I saw him in the clubhouse today, and I said, "Is your heart beating normally now?" And he said, "Yep, absolutely. Everything's back to normal." Running out of that bullpen, and you can kind of see the heart beating out of his shirt there. But he's much calmer today.
The first one's tough, no matter what, when, where, or how.
Absolutely,
very tough. And of course, in a game like this, where the game's not really on the line at the moment, it makes it a lot easier.
So he'll work to Nate McLeod. Pinch hitter Brooks Conrad is on deck. And then back to the top of the order for Martin Prado. And a first pitch inside for ball 1 to McLeod. So, Jerry, you were telling us that before the inning ended that you got here early to meet with manager Bud Black, and he didn't get here as early as you did.
I just told him.
There's a line smash into right field. Backing up is Venable. He's going to play it off the wall on 1 bounce. Heading towards second now is McLeod. The throw will be late. He'll stand up with a double.
I just told him, I said, you know, if I'd known you're going to be this late, I wouldn't have arrived when I did. They said, "That's all right. Sit there and read a book." So he gave me the press guide.
Oh, nice.
And, Bud is one of the finest people on this earth, believe me, guys.
He is great.
If you get to know him, he is unbelievably great. And brilliant, too. He said, "Just ask me a question. I'll talk for 5 minutes." So I said, "Well, what do you think?" And he talked for 5 minutes.
5 minutes, and there's you go. There's your interview. Takes all the guesswork out of it. That's nice. Here's Conrad. And a first pitch swing and a high fly ball foul. Straight back and over our heads and on to play.
Well, Bud is a very, very intelligent human being, besides being a marvelous manager. And the way he handles players is beyond belief. You have to see it every day to know what they get from him and what he gives them. It's incredible. Wonderful.
No, you bring up a good point, because a lot of people see that mild-mannered demeanor of Buddy Black in the dugout and from all that we talk about him, but there's a little fire burning inside there that doesn't get shown in public.
He doesn't let it go at any moment. Believe me, it's always there, but he controls it.
0-1 up and in, 1-1 now to Brooks Conrad. San Diego kid, born here in San Diego.
But the thing about Blood, I think you must remember, he's a very intelligent manager.
Yes, he is.
One of the best I've ever seen. From a standpoint of pure intelligence, he is outstanding.
1-1 from Scribner, low and in, 2 balls and 1 strike. You know, pitchers are like professional golfers to me, where you can remember every pitch you ever threw in whatever situation it was, whatever year it might have been.
You have to.
Whatever batter it was, so you know the next time you face a guy that this is what worked, this is what didn't. 2-1, strike call, low and on the outside corner, 2-2.
But name the number of pitchers that are managers.
Not many.
Few and far between.
And fewer became managers of the year.
Yeah. Anybody. I don't know who they were. They might have been back in the dark ages, but not recently.
2-2 pitch. Conrad takes the hook for a strike. Strike 3 call. That was a big league curveball right there from Evan Scribner. And 1 away with the man at second base. Top of the 9th inning. 6-0 Atlanta.
Hey, Cabot Stains, you're probably never going to take the field in the majors, we know that. But you can look like a pro in your own backyard when you finish your deck with Cabot Wood Stains. They are incredible. The one in the yellow can. Don't forget the yellow can for Cabot Stains. That's the pro.
So here is Martin Prado. Couple of hits. It was his ball that went to the first base. That ended up playing Brad Hoff and going down the line, and wound up being a 2-base error that scored a couple of runs. And the Braves went on to score 5 unearned runs in that second inning, and now have a 6-0 lead here in the 9th. The 0-1 is a little tapper in front of home plate, but it rolls foul. Rob Johnson tried to get to it, but it spun foul. He would have had an easy tag on Prado going up the line, but too much English on it, and it rolled foul, 0-2.
Well, they're going to send Scribner back to the minor leagues quickly, I know, because he throws an overhand curveball. 12 to, I can't believe it.
Yeah.
How many of those do you see?
You don't see many of them
Once
at all.
out of 20 years. 12-6, right over the top. The old Warren Spahn special. He was left-handed, though.
Here's the 0-2 pitch by Scribner. Fastball. Chased it high. Swing and a miss. Strike 3.
I don't think Prado even saw the pitch.
That's back-to-back strikeouts. First 2 in the big league career there of Evan Scribner. And now with 2 away and a man at second base. That'll bring up Jason Hayward.
Yeah, everything's been cut fastball, sliders, that's a side three-quarter delivery. But the one that comes over the top, you rarely see that. He's got one of them.
It's a good equalizer.
Boy, I'll say.
First one on the way now to Hayward. It's low for ball one. I was talking to Darren Balsley. I think I brought this up last week, but he mentioned to me that the one pitch that big league hitters don't see that often now is a curveball.
Yeah,
because nobody has it. Check swing.
It's a harder pitch to control.
Right.
You know, Bob Feller was known for his fastball. He had a curveball that came from behind the third base coach's box. And it was the biggest and most devastating curve in the history of baseball. And, of course, he was a great pitcher. But those you see not at all anymore.
Yeah. 2 balls and no strikes now to Hayward. And a line shot, base hit left field. Rounding third on his way toward the plate now is McLeod. He is going to score. And the Braves have made it a 7-0 lead on an RBI single to left field by Jason Hayward.
Well, Hayward's doing okay. Young guy. He was second in the balloting for Rookie of the Year a season ago, and the way he's going to be in the All-Star team. Doing okay. Just a baby.
So that's the first run in this game to score since the second inning. Well, the excitement happened early, and then the middle innings, and now working our way toward the tail end of the ball game, have been rather uneventful until that single right there with 2 away.
Well, we mentioned Hansen at one time in 3 innings struck out 7 batters and 1 in the first 2. But 3, 4, 5, he just blew the Padres away. He had great stuff. Give him credit.
So Brandon Hicks will bat for Chipper Jones, who had 3 runs batted in today. Good curve for a strike to even it up at a ball and a strike. And the first RBI, if you weren't with us earlier, was a monumental one as he passed Mickey Mantle on the all-time RBI list for switch hitters. Now in second place all by himself. Swing and a miss. Good curve again. 1-2 now.
People forget the guy with the most hits in Major League Baseball is like a switch hitter by the name of Pete Rose.
Oh, yeah.
Who will never be in the Hall of Fame because he gambled. It's the one sin you can't overlook.
1 ball, 2 strike pitch. And a fastball got him looking on the inside corner. And the inning is over. Scribner ends up striking out the side. But in between a double and a run scoring single. And after 8.5, it's the Braves 7. And the Padres nothing as we head to the bottom of the 9th inning. This is Padre Baseball, XX 1090 in the Padres Radio Network. Nothing Atlanta. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. New pitcher on is Craig Kimbrell. He is a rookie closer. 6 saves and 7 opportunities. And I'm sure just on now to get some work. He has not worked since the 23rd. 4 days ago against the Giants. He went a third of an inning and got his 6th save that day. That leads all Major League rookies. A 1-out save in the 9th inning in relief of Tim Hudson, that is, that day. That lasted 8 2/3.
Yeah, the big break about this for Freddie Gonzalez is they can put a kid in a spot where the game's not on the line.
And a first pitch low to Ryan Ludwig. 1 ball, no strikes.
Give him a chance to pitch a little bit and feel like he's in the game somewhat, but basically, if the game was 1-0, you wouldn't see him.
1 ball, no strike pitch on the way and fouled back to the screen. Evens it up at a ball and a strike. So Ludwig in the game today is 0 for 3. Popped out, struck out, grounded out. Playing like a pull hitter out there in the outfield. Big gap in right center. And now Kimbrel's 1-1 pitch. Here it comes. Little bit low. 2-1.
Yeah, pretty good stuff. Only 97. What happens when you get to 100?
Yeah.
You got a bonus?
What happens when he gets warmed up?
Wow. That's the fastest pitch we've seen all day or in this series.
Got a couple of kids that come out of that bullpen that throw smoke. 2-1 pitch. Fastball outside. 3-1.
He's losing it down to 94. Wow. A little bit on the 3/4 side, too. If you're a right-hand batter, you're not digging in too hard.
Kimbrel, 5'11", 205 pounds, born in Huntsville, Alabama. 3-1 outside, ball 4. So Ludwig, lead man aboard. That'll bring to the plate Jorge Cantu. That'll bring a conference to the mound with Brian McCann.
Yeah, how could a closer walk the first man? Because he got a 7-run lead.
Little lapse in concentration, perhaps.
Yeah.
Kimbrel did appear last year for 21 games with the Braves and went 4-0 with a 0.44 ERA.
Gee, that's okay. He and Mike Adams ought to get together and have a little contest.
I'm going to give you some other numbers that are going to make you say, wow. First pitch to Cantu is low for ball 1. How about in 20 2/3 innings? 9 hits, 40 strikeouts.
Only 2 an inning. That's not bad. Really gets warmed up, knows how to pitch.
He did walk 16. That was a little bit alarming. And a fastball in for a strike, evens the count at 1-1.
Well, he's got a 3/4 delivery, and if you're a right-hand batter, you're not digging in on a guy like this. If he throws you a good curveball, you're going to fall down.
$7-0 Atlanta in the bottom of the 9th inning. Ludwig not being held on, and a strike call to Jorge Cantu, 1-2.
It's just pumping fastballs right now. I would think this would be a good time to experiment with the breaking ball. Way out in front.
Kimbrel ready to go here. And a fly ball down the right field line that is slicing toward the corner and the foul pole. And it's going to go foul. Right near that giant tailor-made golf club down the right field line there, attached to the foul pole.
I'm amazed the guy that is the closer for a ball club doesn't come in and throw some breaking pitches in a spot like this especially. Just pump the ball, throwing fastball, that's one thing. But if threw a curveball, you really might get a guy. We'll see what happens.
There's some other news in baseball today surrounding the Los Angeles Dodgers. Get to here in a moment. The 1-2 pitch, a little broken bat, pop up to the second baseman, Ugla. He'll field. Scampering back to first base is Ryan Ludwig, now with 1 away in the bottom of the 9th inning. Padres down 7-0.
That was a slider.
It was. I think he broke his bat on it, too.
Well, tell me about the Dodgers.
Frank McCourt, the quote-unquote owner, had a little press conference today in New York. He wanted to meet with baseball representatives and came out of it by saying, and I'll quote here, "Nobody handed the Dodgers to me. Nobody is going to take them away." He called it un-American for Major League Baseball taking property of his team, quote, just because they got divorced or for some arbitrary reason.
Well, they're not taking the team away from them. They're letting someone run it for them.
And he said that that's nothing short of having someone coming in and monitoring him, somebody coming in to run his business. He is not going to accept that.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. The fans in L.A. could run them out if they don't come to the games. They've lost a lot of attendance as it is.
Well, the courts have.
He's right in many ways, but
Yeah.
they're not taking the club. They're going to run it for him.
There's a ground ball to second. Made for two. A flip to second for one. The return is in time, and that is it. And the Atlanta Braves have come into Petco Park and taken 2 out of 3, as they did last year. They take the final game of this series, a final score of 7-0. Tommy Hanson, 10 strikeouts today in 7 innings. And a big 5-run second inning. All 5 of those runs were unearned against Matt Latos, and that really turned the tide. Braves 7, Padres nothing is your final here from Petco Park. Back with our recap in just a moment. This is Padre Baseball on Double X 1090 and the Padres Radio Network.
Scott and